Hello and welcome to the Measure of Whisky, where we discuss all things Scotch whisky. Today we are going to discuss decanters. Should you put your Scotch whisky in a decanter? Okay, so first of all, the question begs, why would people put their Scotch whisky in a whisky decanter? I think that's quite obvious. Isn't that just gorgeous? It looks beautiful. It's purely for aesthetics. I mean, this thing is weighted, it's heavy, it looks fantastic. Imagine that sitting in your office or on your kitchen counter next to some nice glassware. It just looks amazing. However, there are some really important factors you need to consider before you decant your whisky. First of all, leaving whisky in a decanter can have a dramatic effect on the overall flavour and the expression, mainly due to the fact that they're not airtight. Even though they might say they are airtight, they're not airtight. This is going to result in a high level of aeration where the whisky is going to mix with the air. Now, in a case such as red wine, aeration has a positive effect. It actually removes a lot of those sulfides and a lot of those undesirable characters. So aerating a red wine has a positive effect. Not the case with Scotch whisky. When the whisky is in the bottle, that's it at its best. When you aerate a whisky over a certain period of time, it's going to lose a lot of the desirable characteristics and you're going to end up with something that tastes a little bit dull and a little bit flat. The other major issue with decanters not being airtight is evaporation. We all know about the angel's share. If you don't, I will leave a link below. You can go check out that video. It explains the phenomenon that is the angel's share. But sadly, over time, your dram will evaporate. Even in an airtight bottle, like one of these back here, it still evaporates. So please drink the damn thing. But of course, if we're dealing with a decanter that's not airtight, the evaporation process is going to happen a lot faster. And of course, the amount of evaporation depends on the ambient air temperature and the amount or the lack of humidity. Not good news for people who live in Calgary. The other issue you might face with a decanter is that certain decanters have lead in them. And if the whisky is going to sit in the decanter for a long period of time, some of that lead may impart itself into the dram. I know you've already figured out that's not a good thing. So here's the advice. Use the decanter sparingly. And if you are putting whisky into your decanter, try and finish it the same night or the next night. But drink responsibly. If you're unable to do that and you need to leave your whisky in the decanter for a prolonged period of time, try to make sure that your decanter is as airtight as possible. Leave it in a cool, dark room, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a beautiful decanter, I know. Somewhere ideally where there's not a lot of temperature fluctuations and there's a reasonably high level of humidity. Again, if you live in Calgary, that is beyond impossible. The other alternative is to fill it up with really cheap crap whisky and serve it to your friends. There's another option for you. Right, so that's it. Decanters look amazing, they look beautiful, but a word of caution, don't leave good whisky in a decanter for any prolonged period of time. Simple as that. So I guess I really need to get working on this bottle. Slange.
Rising and the race is on. The city's gonna be